Ooh, spider web. Spider web. Lord, I had almost forgotten what the back of our yard looked like. All right. Well, they're actually almost done, it looks like. Well, here it is. As you can see, the vast majority of the blackberries have been removed. There's definitely debris and stuff still here. Actually, let me zoom out a little bit more. But that's to be expected. They were only going to remove the vines, on the ground and everything. But yeah, this really kind of shows, I don't know what's making that noise, maybe a squirrel. The scope of the area that was covered. Hey there, Nixie girl. Oh, my sweet old lady. How you doing, sweet pea? Yeah. But that's a pretty significant amount of yard. Ooh, the sun's like right near guys' eyeballs. That was tied up here in brambles. So at this point, what we kind of need to do is come through with a rake or whatever and just kind of sweep this debris and litter up, and then find these things, where we've got basically the root balls. And what I want to do, and I think I mentioned this in the last video, is probably do a new cut and then brush crossbow on them, with the hope that it will draw it into the roots, and over the winter, when it's supposed to be pulling in nutrients and things like that, it'll be pulling that into there and essentially decimating it. We'll see how we do with that. That is going to be a big project because there is quite a bit of litter just here to even clear it so that we can see where all of these root bits are. I'm not really sure what else we can do to combat the remainders of the blackberries. I'm sure in the spring, as stuff starts to try and regenerate, we're going to need to get in there and do some digging out. Hopefully we'll have cleared this up pretty well. Gotta keep an eye out. I don't know where Miss Girl went. Oh, there she is. Okay. I think in the meantime, we've got a bunch of boxes. I do want to, after we get this, cleaned up, and we are going to have to do it in stages. This is a big area. We'll probably put some cardboard down just to help, because right now there's not a lot of actual verge beyond the stems of the stuff. And so when it rains, it's going to get pretty muddy back here. And so we need to get this covered so it's not just a big old mess. I don't want too much in the way of weeds, trying to take advantage of the open spot. Once we get things kind of figured out, we definitely need to do some trimming. I mean, there's vines still up in the trees up here and over there that need to come down. These big old trees definitely need trimming, which I'm sure is not going to be cheap. We have a lot of volunteer like oak, maybe even some walnut in here because of the squirrels that have attempted to, come up, and you can tell that they're pretty skinny, not really super impressive. Those really should probably get pulled out. I mean, we really need to get like some of these branches that are coming way down here trimmed off. That's not something that I feel comfortable with us doing. We've got some random things over here. I mean, I think that looks like it's probably a rhododendron. Back there, that I am not sure what that is. This is the remnants of something even bigger that we had trimmed back a long time ago. We've got our bamboo back there, which is staying put, where it is. So I'm fine with having that in place. We should have a mock orange back in the corner over there, which I love that. But I would like to get more ferns in here. Eventually I would love to get like some salmonberry and thimbleberry. Both of those are natives. Back here they're thornless, so if they can take some, not all, some of the space that the blackberries did, I would much prefer that. Excuse me. This tends to get dappled sunlight because obviously of all the trees. So we have to be a little bit careful about what will actually thrive in this particular area. But I would like to have some kind of, oh, I think I just walked through a spider web, dedicated kind of walking path. Maybe because we do have so much wood debris, we can either rent or buy a chipper. Kind of makes sense to buy a chipper since we do have quite a bit of wood in the area, and so it wouldn't be like a one and done thing, and make a wood chip path with it. We do have the option, we have a concrete mixer or a mixer that we could try and do forms. We've done that as a project on the side of the house before, but it is fairly involved, so I don't know how much I love the idea of doing that again, as nice and fun as it might look. But yeah, I want this area to be usable, and so to me that means having dedicated paths that you can walk through. And then of course, if you have those paths, then to keep things interesting, some kind of seating or little plant, I don't know, tableaus as it were. But I think that's a long way off. In a perfect world, after I win the lottery, we'd have a gazebo somewhere in this area. I think that would be lovely. But in the very short and near term, it's still about the cleanup. This is obviously miles better than it used to be, but there's still a lot that needs to be done. So that is the update on the work that has been completed. Very, very pleased with it. Now, the original bid to do the work, which included hauling, the stuff away, was $1,850. At the end of the day, it did end up being more. I have not understood exactly why it was more, but at the end of the day, it ended up being $1,925. So an increase of $75, not really huge in comparison, well under the $2,500 that we were anticipating or that we had guesstimated, which means we still have a really nice chunk of available long-term goal money to, one, get a new refrigerator, and two, either get started on saving up for the carport remodel, or maybe slipping in a wood chipper into the mix before we start going gung-ho on that. I do have the names of a few contractors and things that I need to call to have come out and take a look at the carport. I would absolutely love it if we could just pull our roof line over, but I know that that is going to be so expensive, and I don't know exactly how much would be entailed in that particular project, but I have to imagine it would be fairly extensive. But at the same time, I don't know if the structure that we currently have in place, if it is something that can just be shored up for minimal cost, complete re-roof though, or if it would need to be dismantled and something new and hopefully much more sturdy and solid being built for obviously more expense. But that's going to be part of the questions that are asked, and I will ask, costing expectations if we were to pull the roof line over as well. Might as well have the entirety of our ideas looked at and analyzed by whomever would potentially be doing it. So we'll see. That is where we are at the end of this particular, phase one, at the end of phase one of this project, with many phases to go. So as always, I really appreciate you hanging out and seeing what we're up to. Let me know. Hey Murphy bud, what you doing? Yeah? What are you doing, my big old potato? Snort, snort. I can call you my little piggy. Yeah. How you doing, big boy? Yeah. You're my money pit. That's what you are. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. As always, if you have any questions, concerns, thoughts, feedback, please note those down below. And thank you. I hope we will see you in the next one. Bye for now.